In the past year, I've made 7 games, all for game jams. I talked briefly about my journey in a different video, but that was only the tip of the iceberg. Each game taught me something new about developing games, and each left a lasting impression on me. I want to share all the lessons I learned from each game, and delve into how they were made. Starting with Below It All for the second Brackies Jam of 2023 was my first game. The jam had a generous time limit of 7 days. This felt plausible to me, and it forced me to sit down and start learning. The game I thought of would be about a guy who's sent to explore the lab deep in the earth by diving through an underground tunnel. But none of this mattered. In the end, the game was absolute garbage. But that didn't matter to me. It wasn't a good game, but it was my game. If Below It All taught me anything, it's don't be afraid to make a bad game. Below It All taught me the importance of reaching the finish line. Speaking of bad games, In Memoriam was made for the mini jam cam. It was a game? In this one, you are a kid who has been diseased and slowly decaying. The kid needs to climb a huge tower with ropes to reach a goal. I will admit it's a bit better than Below It All, but it's still pretty lousy. However, around that time, Unity was in the middle of destroying itself, so this game introduced me to my current game engine of choice, Godot. In Memoriam was a step in the right direction. Perhaps it didn't teach me much about making games, but it taught me the importance of picking the right tools. And using those tools, I'd make my first relative success. Hoax was made for the Secret Santa Jam, a witch searches for a hero amid a demonic apocalypse. It was made for a game developing group called Stratosphere, who unfortunately never got to see it. But even if they didn't, it was still a major milestone in my game dev journey. I made a video about it, but to keep it short, Hoax was the most fun to make and pushed my newly acquired skills to the limit. Hoax's success can be attributed to its good foundation. It had fairly strong mechanics, gameplay, and most importantly, vision. It started to feel like I was starting to get somewhere, and that's because Hoax taught me the importance of intentional design. Now just wait folks, 2 plus 2 is 4, minus 1 that's 3, quick maths. What I'm trying to say is that we go up 1 dimension with this one. Outside was weird because I spent more time learning Blender than actually making the game. It was made for another Brackies Jam. Before we start, I have a story to tell. I had a dream where I was being stalked. I could see the person outside my house for several days. And I waited and I watched as he came closer and closer until he entered my house. I woke up and felt the most amount of fear I have ever felt and thought, man, that'd be perfect for a game. And that's what I did. Outside was simple, but it was scary, both in the game and behind the scenes. Learning Blender and 3D game development was stuff that I never thought I'd do, but outside taught me the importance of leaving my comfort zone. Alright, enough 3D, back to 2D. Child of the Dark for the Pixel Game Jam had you play as a monster boy in the deep ocean, finding hearts and just stopping them and stuff. This one had the most amount of mechanics, yet lacked a glue that made everything cohesive. However, it was the game I had the most fun making sprites for. It had such a different vibe from all the other games I had made before, and it was so refreshing just to make. As an artist, this is the type of atmosphere I wanted to make for a long time. Child of the Dark may have lacked gameplay, but it taught me the importance of expressing my creativity. Alright, this is the big one. Inheritance for the Godot Wild Jam took me forever to pick an idea. Literal days were spent agonizing over what I'd do. Once I settled on an idea though, it was probably the best one. The brilliant would be reading about an adventurer who explores a dungeon, and the explorer in the story would gain abilities by reading the stories of his predecessors. It was great. The simplistic gameplay, artwork, and sound design made the game fun, but I ran out of time before I could properly finish it. That's because I wasn't decisive enough to settle on the idea. If I had been more confident in myself and this idea, it probably would have outclassed all my other games combined. Even so, Inheritance taught me the importance of making the tough decisions. Alright, last one. Stormbringer for the second Brackies Jam of 2024 was my final game, and the culmination of my year of making games. In a way, it probably exemplified all my previous lessons. But there was one big problem to it all. The game just wasn't fun. You played as a small lizard, trying to survive on an island while pushing around these little bug guys and eat some berries that would give you some power-ups. Perhaps a more experienced developer could make this concept fun, but I couldn't. I could do all the things in my previous games flawlessly, but if it's not fun, then what's the point? Stormbringer was fairly impressive, as a show of most of my previous elements, but it made me realize that I'm missing the most important element of games. Stormbringer taught me the importance of fun. So to recap, Below It All taught me how to reach the finish line. In Memoriam taught me how to pick the correct tools. Hoax taught me the importance of intentional design. Outside taught me to leave my comfort zone. Child of the Dark taught me how to express my creativity. Inheritance taught me the importance of tough decisions. And Stormbringer taught me the importance of fun. I hope I'll take these lessons and carry them over to my future projects, because without a doubt, I'll be doing more game dev in the future, and I hope I could provide some insight to fellow game developers, or even inspire someone to begin developing games. That'd be cool. Wait. And that's it. Sorry I've been gone for so long. I hope I can go back to my semi-regular upload schedule. Anyway, I've got a big announcement to make. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more stuff like this from me, then good news. I am making a new channel dedicated to game dev called CosmoScript Games. I can't promise many of them vlogs and such, but there you'll find all the news and stuff related to my future projects. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this mess. Consider subscribing or leaving a like. Please play my games in the description below, and comment on what you think would make them better. It'd be super appreciated. Drink water, hug your mother, and good night.